Hello and welcome to today's video. Today, we're discussing sports. Um, for me, I enjoy watching sports quite a bit. But we're going to discuss the most disappointing championships, probably the worst ones I've seen myself, based on the results, basically. Talking about ones that were played, the Super Bowl this year was terrible. There was like 3 points in the first like 3 quarters. But if we're going purely by like my thoughts on the results, I'm gonna give my top five worst. The first three, we're going from 5 to 1, from how much they were annoying. Also, the years that I list are not the years for a Super Bowl, at least. They're not the year the championship is considered the year the game was played, because the way the NFL works, the championship is played in February, but the year is actually the championship from the year before. So we're going to start with the Super Bowl that was played in 2015, the 2014 Super Bowl. It was the Patriots and Seahawks. Now, I'm sure you can see by my shirt, I'm a Jets fan. So, it's not really much to root for in January or February. But when you see the team that you absolutely hate, and the most of any sport, the team that I hate the most is the Patriots. I know using the word hate in sports is typically not something that you use, but I absolutely hate the Patriots. It's the thing I dislike probably the most of anything is the Patriots and Tom Brady as well. So to see the Patriots win Super Bowls is obviously annoying. Trying to think what I was gonna say. Frustrating, upsetting. 2015, that year, of course. Again, the year we're talking about, the game was played. The Seahawks, all they do is run the ball. Marshawn Lynch is there. It's very disappointing to see the results of that game, but it's not as disappointing as the other games on the list. But that was the first two here. It's just the way that all they had to do was run the ball. They just had to throw it, and the Seahawks would have won, and that would have been so much better. But that's not the way that it worked out, I guess. The next one is 2017, the 2016 Super Bowl. Patriots Falcons. Falcons were up, what was it, like 20 something to 3. 26 was it? 23? I don't remember. It was too much to lose, and that was also very disappointing, very upsetting, to sort of watch that go down, and have to go to school and hear everybody talk about the Patriots and how much they loved them and want to marry Tom Brady. Yeah, that was the year. For me, I was in a class that had like all Patriot fans, and it was super obnoxious. The teacher was like hardcore obsessed. He had the little projector thing, and he had a screensaver of Tom Brady with the trophy, and he printed it on the screen. I'm just like, oh my god! Like, this dude was obsessed to like another level. Like, he would post the score on the screen from like an irrelevant regular season game in September. It's like, you realize your team's going to the playoffs. Why does this matter? But yeah, that was just obnoxious as well. And then we have the Super Bowl from this year, the 2019 Super Bowl, the 2018 season, the Patriots and Rams. For me, as much as the other ones were closer to a loss for the Patriots, this one here for me was worse because I like Los Angeles, and if I was going to pick another football team besides the Jets to like, it would be the Rams. I'm definitely a big fan of LA teams. I like the city. Los Angeles is my favorite city in America. There's things that say Los Angeles right there on the wall. There's also a thing up there. It's actually the city that has the most stuff for the wall. More than Seoul, actually. If we're counting just pictures of the city itself. Yeah, I just really like Los Angeles, and I was just super disappointed to watch that go down. And I was just, that was the worst, one of the worst feelings for sports for me. But it doesn't get as bad, or it gets worse, should I say, from here. Those are not as bad compared to the fact of when you watch your favorite team in a sport lose a championship. I experienced a team that I don't want to win many times, watching the Patriots win 3 Super Bowls in the past, 6 years? I don't know. Something obnoxious. Past 5 years? Is it 3 and 5 years? I don't know. No, I think it's 3 and 6 years. I don't know. Either way, it's too many in a short period of time. But nothing's really worse than watching your favorite team lose in a championship. This is something that I never experienced in football because the Jets made the Super Bowl once in the 60s and won. So I don't know what it's like to have your favorite football team in the Super Bowl. Baseball, like the Red Sox, they've won every time they've been in this decade. Those are only the 2 sports besides basketball. Now, I got into basketball in the beginning of the 2015-2016 season. I never really was into basketball, never really liked the team. I would watch the Lakers because my brother liked to watch Kobe. So, some of the games might be on. I might stand there in the doorway of his room and watch part of it. But that was really the only connection. So I guess you could say I would root for the Lakers. Again, if I was going to pick another team besides the Warriors, it would be the Lakers because I like Los Angeles. But anyways, to this, I never really, like I said, watched basketball before. And I got into it by reading an article, on the iPhone. You have the little news section. You swipe over to the left, there's news and all that stuff. And there was articles just, I clicked on the Apple News and was reading about how the Warriors were going on those crazy win streak. I sort of started following them that way. That's the way that I got into watching them. So, yeah, I became a Warriors fan. In the past 4 years, they've made they made it 5 years, but the past 4 years that I've been into basketball, they've made it. And again, for me, I didn't really think I was bandwagoning because I never liked the sport before. That's what got me into basketball in the first place. So no matter what happens with the Warriors, I'm going to root for them either way. So I watched them lose in 2016. But we'll get into that because that's higher up on the list than 2019. I'm recording this the day after the loss to the Raptors. Yeah, so sort of to reflect on that. It's kind of weird to sort of explain. Just that feeling of watching your favorite team lose the championship. Again, I've only experienced it twice, 2016, 2019. So, in sports, any sport, I haven't really experienced that much. So it's sort of weird to watch your favorite team lose. So yeah, it's just very weird to talk about. Very weird to just sort of put into words. Because I don't know how to explain it. It just feels so weird. I guess if you're used to it, if your team makes a championship lots of times and they lose. But typically teams don't make it and continuously lose over and over. I mean, the Bills did it in the 90s. They lost 4 times in a row. But most sports, your team makes it and they lose, but it's just sort of weird if you're not used to your team losing. So for me, I think the way that they lost with having so many injuries, it did suck to see that. And also to lose their final game at Oracle Arena also was disappointing in that sense. But, everybody's been commenting the Cavs lost 2015. I didn't watch then, so I don't really know. But from what I have seen and what I've read, that obviously Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were both hurt in 2015 when the Warriors won. So I guess it's kind of like, oh, they lost the same way. But for me, I wasn't a fan at the time they won the championship, so I don't have any connection to that. But to watch them lose this year, it was disappointing because they, had Kevin Durant get hurt in the Houston series, then come back. It's like, oh, he's gonna carry the team back from 3-1. Then he gets hurt, and then it's like, they somehow win that game. Then Klay Thompson gets hurt in Game 6. I really think they could have won Game 6 had Klay Thompson not got hurt. But once he got hurt, it felt like, okay, this series is over. And to see, for me, what stands out the most from this series is honestly the Raptors fans' reaction to Kevin Durant getting hurt, tearing his Achilles. That's just something that, to me, is just, I don't know, I was very surprised, and I was shooketh, as the kids say. I was very shook by that, the fact that I've never seen fans react in a negative way, even to an opponent getting hurt in a game. I was just like, what? And I was taken more aback by anything, because it was the Raptors fans. You think Canada, oh, they're super nice to everybody. See the Canadian fans just cheering for his injury, and not just being in the arena. Everybody's like, oh, it's just in the arena. And then they showed the clips from outside, their Jurassic Park, whatever they called it. And then clips from people in the bars, and people cheering. Like, it was just super, super surprising to see. Now, I know that in that moment, they all realized there's a good chance we won this championship. Because Kevin Durant coming back, there was a good chance that they would win Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7 if he came back. Kevin Durant just, him there, the team has to put more focus on him, which let Klay Thompson, Steph Curry get more open. So I get from that standpoint, maybe why they're internally excited, but to express it in that way, not even excited, but like relieved to have him not play. It's just, that is what stands out to me the most from that, is to see them cheer for that injury is just very, very shocking, actually. And that's what stands out to me the most. And I'm just like, I don't want them to win now. Come on. For me, I would say it's cool when a different team that hasn't won a championship wins, but when their fans act like that, it's kind of annoying. I was just disappointed to see the Warriors lose in general. Yeah. So now we have to go to the one that I never talk about. Whenever basketball gets discussed, and the Warriors get discussed, whether I'm working or just talking to, because, when I do working, lots of times we're driving around going to different apiaries and bees. And, we got to go from town to town to go check out different ones. So, we're in the car, and we talk about sports and basketball, and the 2016 finals get brought up, or, 3-1 gets brought up. It's not as much now, but sometimes the meme would pog that. 2016 NBA Finals. The Warriors up 3-1 on the Cleveland Cavaliers and lose the championship. Oh yeah, one other thing about this year's championship against the Warriors and Raptors is the fact they could have had a three-peat. That part is what sucked. They could have had a three-peat. They could have joined the Bulls and the Lakers with a three-peat. So disappointing. That's another thing that really, really sucked about that, was that got taken away by injuries more than anything else. 2021, though, coming back. 21, 22, 23, Warriors winning it all. If they can win one more or two, I'll be happy. But yeah, to the 2016 finals. The Warriors were 73-9 that year. It's my first year getting into basketball. I remember sitting in the living room, watching the games with Jewel. I had a water bottle just like this. I had the cap was off of it. She went on the counter, the coffee table, was playing with it. It's a good memory of that finals. That's all I gotta say about that one. No, but, you know, typically I don't discuss the 2016 finals. Just because of the amount of pain that brought. I don't even know what to say. The 3-1 lead, having that, being the only team ever to lose a 3-1 lead in finals, and only one of the 11 teams to ever lose it in NBA history. I don't know. I don't have a word to describe it. The only thing that sticks to my mind is the play where Andre Iguodala is going for the dunk or whatever. He had the ball and LeBron James comes up and blocks it. That's the only thing that I ever see from that finals. It's the only clip they ever show from it, but it's the lasting thing in my mind. And seeing Kyrie Irving shoot over Steph Curry for the championship, and the stunned look on the fans at Oracle Arena, seeing that on TV, standing in my living room. That's all I remember from the finals, and honestly, all I ever want to discuss from those finals. I don't like discussing the 2016 finals. It honestly is the worst sports thing I've ever experienced. It's just such a I don't know. I don't know what to talk about it. I really don't want to, honestly. Like, I'm not just saying it for camera or just saying I just don't talk about that championship. It was almost 4 years ago now, and I still just don't want to discuss it. So yeah, that's that. Thank you all for watching. We will have a good video coming up for you guys where we discuss the best championships I've seen. So that will be fun. So we'll see you guys Friday as we continue the return to summer.